describe the tenor of the last 24 hours culminating in the New York Lakers tonight?
It's been a weird 24 hours. Everybody kind of just sitting on the edge with the trade deadline. And then obviously the trade, you lose two guys that you got relationships with, three guys actually, that you have relationships with. But that is the business that we're in. Shorthanded. Came out tonight, down 14 in the fourth quarter. Guys continue to fight and come out with a big-time win after a long week. Says a lot about the character of the group.
At what point did you know that you were still going to be on this team through the deadline?
Today at 1, Phoenix time.
That's probably a new experience for you. I know you've talked about it a little bit. How nerve-wracking was that?
It got nerve-wracking towards the end. But yeah, it is what it is, move forward. It's not something I want to get used to, though. So.
Draymond, you talked to Mike.
Yeah.
What was the message that he conveyed to you?
We just talked some trade stuff. We talked about possible trade. We talked about other stuff that could happen. Yeah.
What do you think about Porzingis, the opportunity?
I like it. Just adding more size, more rim protection, more shooting. Porzingis, switch guards on him. He really punishes them. Does a great job of that. He was the missing piece to a Boston championship. When he was with that team, they were really, really tough to beat, So, hoping he can bring some of that here. But I like it. I think it'll be a great fit.
How do you see yourself fitting next to him defensively? How do you guys complement each other?
Well, for me personally, I love when, there's another rim protector on the floor because then I could, stuff that I see, I can act on it. When I'm the only rim protector, stuff that I see and want to act on, you can't do that because you just lead the rim. It's kind of like you watch football? You don't watch no football.
How do you watch?
You watch football? Who your team?
Vikings.
Oh, shit, y'all ain't never won. No, but, there's great defensive ends, and then there's defensive ends that don't stick to their assignment. They just want the sack. And you run the ball right in the gap that they left because they just shot upfield trying to get a sack. It's kind of like that with rim protection. If you just take off because you see something, and all of a sudden it don't work, then you got no rim protection. You just broke contain. You just broke the scheme because of something that you saw or that you wanted to do. When there's another rim protector out there, you can take those chances, And so I've always enjoyed playing with another rim protector on the floor. I just think it really unlocks everything that I can do defensively.
Draymond, you call him like the secret, the extra weapon to Boston for their championship. What made him kind of that extra piece, and how do you see him fitting with Al as well, too?
Oh, well, they were together. But both of those guys are smart. They can both shoot. Both can protect the rim, guard smaller guys, guard bigger guys. And so I think that's beneficial. How he was great with Celtics was, they had a ton of shooting. And so if you switched and you switch somebody on him, they just throw him the ball. And you can't help because he's just kicking it out to shooters and they're launching threes, And so I think for us to have that weapon, especially with Jimmy going out, Jimmy, you switch on Jimmy, we throw Jimmy the ball, it's over, And so with Jimmy being out, to, add someone that you can do that to in a different way. Like, obviously, him and Jimmy are two totally different players, but that thing in particular, to add someone that, they get to switch and you can throw it in there and punish them, that changes an offense.
What are you hoping Jonathan takes away from his experience here to Atlanta?
Number one, I hope that we've been good vets to him and taught him how to be a pro. I think that's first and foremost. You hope that what he walked away with was, regardless of how all of it went down, the guys whose wing I was under showed me the right way. And then I hope that he, in going there, that he relishes the opportunity. I think he's going to an organization. Saw coach's comments maybe today or yesterday. I don't know when they were, but I saw him today, where he was just saying, he didn't get a chance to make many mistakes because we're trying to win. That's always been kind of the tough part about young guys and trying to win. If you come into this league, you have to make mistakes to learn. But when you're with a group that's trying to compete for championships, you don't always get that leash. And I think he'll get a little more of that now. And the same mistakes he was making 2-3 years ago, he don't make now, But, again, if you haven't quite just had the opportunity to let all of it run its course, then you're still somewhere along that process, And so, so I hope, like I said, I hope that's what he takes away from it. And most importantly, I hope he go and become the player that we all thought he'd become here.